it's like if your mom calls you that, like Nisha.
Oh, she hates me. If she's
Kanisha?
calling me Kanisha, she hates me because she don't even call me Nisha. She calls me Nina.
Oh, yeah.
So if she called me anything other than that, or she calls me Miss Stewart, she trying to be funny.
Yeah, damn. Miss Stewart, get down here.
Oh, man.
ASAP.
She trying to be real funny. Oh, we're good and rolling? Oh, okay. Welcome back to the Curators Chat with Brucie Ana. I have my friend Zap over here.
What's happening?
Zap is a DJ as well as would you call yourself a host? I would say you're a
Curator.
host. He's a host. He's a curator. He curates events with Adventure Club. That's the name of your group, right?
Yep.
And they do different events. I will say I really like their Miami nights at Somerset. Are you going to be bringing that back?
Yeah, that's actually this Thursday.
Oh.
Shameless plug. That's the second version of that. Technically third, because we kind of had like a spin-off. But that'll be coming back at 5 Points Alley this Thursday, 6 p.m. with me on
What's the actual date? Because I will say this podcast, it's going to be out later.
It's going to be on May 22nd, 2025 at 6 p.m. At 5 Points Alley. That's in Walnut Hills. It's behind Gomez, that park area.
Yes, I'm familiar with 5 Points. I've been there a few times. Of course, with us going to performing arts, I've always been to almost every place that Siri Amani's events have went to, I followed. And she did some events at 5 Points at one point when things were she was shifting from the comment to going to other venues. And it's more of an outdoor space. Have they changed it? Because I know it was just still outdoors and picnic tables. So
yeah. So that's why we did it this, because it's a whole the Miami vibe is really trying to just put people in that mindset of just being in a different time and place and location. And with it being outside, the first version was at Somerset. We did it on our patio and that was great, but we almost packed it out. It was really thick on the second one. So we're just expanding it out a little bit more. Now we have a little space and we have food at Gomez. So it's going to be nice.
It's going to be perfect. It's perfect too with Miami nights with there being food, being the Hispanic food from Gomez. I will say, also giving him his flowers. This has always been one of the most favorite DJs of my entire life. But I also was blessed to watch him grow throughout the years. Austin DJ'd our homecoming and our prom. We went to the same school, same high school. Fun fact, me and Austin were in a gang.
Yeah, we were in a gang. It was a black on black gang.
Wait, black on black.
It was kind of, it was it was fake GDs basically.
Yeah, it was very fake YNs.
It's fake GDs.
We were very fake. We didn't have no type of street cred.
Yeah, but we had to stick together. We needed that community within the arts, thing, because we all had our thing, but it's you need to, I don't know.
You need your people always.
You need your people,
especially going to performing arts. I always say, everybody, it don't matter what year you went to, what building you went to, because there's some people that went to 1310, there's some people that started at the new location on Central Parkway. And it doesn't matter when you started, what year you graduated, even if you only went for a year. If you went to performing arts for 1 year, you're always a part of the PA family. We always show love to each other, always support each other. And there's always people doing something positive from performing arts. I don't really know too many people from performing arts that's not doing something. Even if you're not some grand artist that you going on tour, stuff like that, you're still making some type of impact into the creative community. I mean, I got into the school for drama.
Yeah.
Here I am on podcasts, but I didn't graduate in drama. I graduated in instrumental music. I graduated playing the trumpet, and you would never look at me and say she plays the trumpet.
And I started off in orchestra with Brian Siegman playing the viola and violin, and then
shout out to Mr. Siegman.
Just worked. I did every major there was, probably except for dance, maybe. But they tried to put me in the dance class, and I was I cannot dance at all. Y'all know this ain't for me. But they just mixed up.
What did you graduate with? Because you did jump around.
So I graduated with creative writing, which that kind of emphasizes my background with literature, film, movies, and those types of things, and that's what
I could have sworn you graduated in tech.
No, I would have graduated in tech if I was fonder of the teachers there, maybe, if I wanted to stick around longer. But tech really is and all of for all intents and purposes, that tech thing is kind of what I do, because I'm a tech nerd at heart, and I love technology. I love the scenic thing. I love being in the background. I could perform, but I just put me on the lighting board so I could like program the light shows,
Oh yeah,
produce
you were
things.
lighting.
I was making beats, I was trying to produce. So always had to do with technology, but they didn't have a class dedicated for that.
Yeah.
That wasn't really a thing. So like, I did seek higher education for that, to be continued, because that's a different chapter of life.
A different chapter. Would you say you sought that out when you moved to Atlanta?
Yeah, I definitely did. That's what I moved to Atlanta for, because at the time, Atlanta's booming with the film industry. I moved there in 2015, straight out of college, and it was a movie for real, because it was, Atlanta's very different from Cincinnati. It's not the same at all. You have a lot more black people.
Yeah, Atlanta, the Mecca.
Yeah,
the Mecca of
black people. You got film popping off there. I mean, people talk about Tyler Perry a lot being the cornerstone of that, which to me has more to do with economic standpoint rather than a creative standpoint. Because if you look at the economic standpoint, you're like, yeah, okay, he's got the sauce because he has the stuff there. But when you look at like the creativity and like the independent stuff, you see Stranger Things being produced down there.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they produced that in Georgia. There's a lot of small.
I know a lot of films are
operations.
like shot in Florida.
But basically every Marvel
Georgia.
movie shot down there, like all of them, they're shot in like Lawrenceburg, Georgia, which is like really not even Atlanta for real. That's like really on the outskirts. It's like what we would consider like Mason to
Really?
them.
Okay.
It's like way out the way. But you have huge,
What we call Greater
stuff.
Cincinnati.
Yeah. But Atlanta is really about 4 times the size. So it's like you got to figure out how you fit into such a large ecosystem, right? And I learned so much by being around a lot of people, but that's when I really learned what I really wanted to do. Wasn't until I came back here, to be honest, because I had a lot of skill sets, and I feel like a lot of us that went to like performing arts, some of us, we were kind of found our way and became like more refined, and we had like a focus with our thing. And then
I'm proud of the people who stayed in their major and like really went further and further and further. Like your cousin.
I didn't. I bumped my head a lot, and people would think like,
Same.
even though y'all seen me DJ and do all those things, it was like at the same time when I was in Atlanta, I just had a different mindset at the time, because I'm like, it's so cool, so many other things I could be doing, but I didn't come back to like, oh, this is what I really know how to do, and I can create cultures and communities with that. It's like, had to move back here, but it was the pandemic that ultimately changed that. Because I know the pandemic moved a lot of people around, but I was like,
so that's why you moved back here? Because I'll be questioning why people don't come back to Cincinnati. Well, if you move out of Cincinnati, stay gone. I'm telling you.
Cincinnati has its. I'm learning to see the duality in it, and I really consider myself somebody that like anything that I don't like here, that like, because there's a lot of stuff. Especially when I moved back here, there's a lot of shit that infuriated me. I'm like, why is this not this? Why is this not that? And then the more I tried to be the change that I want to see. Literally, I've worked with 3CDC. Like, I worked for them like as an employee for like 3 months. Didn't work out. It was terrible. But last year I was like,
you 3CDC.
I'm just chasing the bag. You feel me? And 3CDC, they're a private equity group. That's all they are. And they're gonna take the rich family's money, and then we have to like build up our own economy. So that's when I'm like, I want to be a part of that, and I just wanted to be a part of the change, and it was slow.
On
but
the end
I
of
feel
the
like
good side.
A lot, I started to like contribute to that, because at the same time, I was gone for 5 years in Cincinnati, so I kind of like came back as like, wait,
you
who
didn't
was
really
that?
know much about the
and
culture.
It was a different name. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know anything about any of the relevant events or anything.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I'm coming in like I'd never been here, which was like funny, because I'm like, wow, I got to reestablish all my connections. I got to figure out who people are, like, and just start building everything from scratch. So it was like, I've been here my whole life, came back here, had to rebuild that. But thankful to our community and SCPA, I'm so happy about that, because that is like really.
Where a lot of your connections came from, you say? Or
in the long run. I didn't see it, but in the long run, it makes sense, because like, a lot of the places I worked, they're around OTR, and like, I just feel like this pride and this like rootedness, like, oh, I'm in here. Like, now we started a studio. I've been at that studio 2 years, but recently took over the studio. It's right across from the 1310 location on Sycamore.
Oh,
like when I'm looking out my window, I get to look at the SCPA building, and it's so
cool.
You
mean like your studio where you work, or
my
like
music
studio
studio?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Yeah, so that's just a whole new operation that we've been taking on, because I've been in that space for a minute, but it's like, when I mean taking over, I mean being like the landlord and like renting out the other rooms and getting the like creative direct.
Shit.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Not quite. I feel like, because we want to own our own buildings, right? That's how we get with 3CDC, because 3CDC is like, we buy this building, and if we had enough capital, we could be like, all right, we bought this building.
Right.
And now we're our own private equity group, but for the artists. So I kind of saw that as the same opportunity. One thing led to another, and we're just now starting that process, so it is a lot.
So where would you say you got this business mindset from? Would you say you got that, like the aspect of that where you can like, I know you're saying you found what you wanted to do when you came to Cincinnati, and I understand you learned so many things in Atlanta, but would you say like, because what I'm hearing from you now is more of a like, such a like boss man mentality, like like CEO level, like making really big moves. So where would you say you got that mind state of like, I want to do this as a business. I'm trying to make business moves. I'm thinking bigger. When did you start thinking bigger? Where did you get that business mindset?
I think I always had that, but I struggled a lot because I never really had a mentor. I never really had like teachers that I looked up to, not a sports coach. Like I kind of struggled with, like I guess trusting an authority figure that they had that. So like I feel like I kind of learned the hard way. I learned by making bad choices and then by like still asking people and still being willing to like, always learn and just always having like that craving to be like, even if it sounds stupid, like why do I want to know it? Like why? Like it's really like even pointless trivia, like we kind of joke about how much music trivia that I know, but even stupid stuff like, who was the first host of MTV Raps ever in 1995, 1994? It was LL Cool J. I think it might have been 92, I don't remember. But LL Cool J was the first one. And these facts, like, they're stupid, but they're relevant to me because somehow, like, all the information and knowledge that you accumulate, you can apply that somewhere for, like, some sort of business. No, it's not relevant in just an everyday conversation, but in a problem-solving sense, when I'm, like, dealing with a certain crowd or trying to, like, connect with a certain audience, that information might be helpful because that's, like, a memory people connect with. No, that was happening before I was born. But other people, like, then I'm able to reach different people. And I think that was more the business mindset was like problem solving. Yeah. Me being like a troubleshooter and understanding that was like the core business. Cause the business thing is funny because that is a thing I think about a lot in Cincinnati. Because in Atlanta, the business is different. It fucking moves. Yeah. Here, it's a little slow and we got to push it and really drive it. And I think that's why it's so effective because it don't move unless we're driving it. But
people don't take you serious unless you get on their ass.
Yeah.
And you're not lying.
And I think at Cincinnati, though, we also at the same time, naturally, because this is an entrepreneurial field, it's a working class city. Naturally, my dad, blue collar worker, my mom's a teacher. So a lot of us were raised like this and they don't even have the information. So I would like try to reach out to my family. Hey, how do you do this? There were people in my family starting businesses, I guess, but some of this stuff went over my head, and I think we think businesses are usually like LLCs and taxes and da-da, and you have to do all that stuff, but you really need like, you need a purpose.
Always file your taxes.
Yeah, always file your taxes too.
My mom,
so you get fucked up.
Shout out to my mother. She had got me a part of I'm pretty sure you're familiar with them, the African American Chambers of
The Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, Chamber of Commerce. It's a very long word. Y'all know I'm really hard with words.
Yeah.
But she got me a part of that group, and they help you with a lot of different things, like so many different things when it comes to running your business. And there was a class, and they were speaking about applying for grants. And at the time, my business wasn't around that long, my massage business, and they had told me because I didn't file for taxes with my massage business in the first like 2 years because I didn't make money. I didn't actually I was still in school. I had made my business before I even graduated school because I knew that's what I wanted to do. But they had told me you always file your taxes even if you didn't make any money because it just still shows that you're serious. It still shows that you are a legit business, and if you want to start applying for grants in the future, they're like, well, we see this person.
So do you want to hear a funny story on that note? Because I be saying I learned stuff the hard way. I'll just run the gun. I'm like, I'm gonna do it and it's gonna happen. And once I figure out how to do it, it's done. Ooh. But so when I first filed the business for the first version of Adventure Club, I filed it as an S corp rather than an LLC. So the state of Ohio was seeing that they were like, oh, you're a corporation. You should be making $10,000 a month. And I'm like, I'll be lucky to be making $15 a month at this point. When we first started out, I was like, but I wanted to get the business established. And then, I was like reporting zero on these things. And then the freaking,
Did they try to flag you for fraud?
Yeah, they flagged me, but I didn't know it. And then the deputy sheriff came to my house and was like, standing out there with a gun and was like, with the Ring camera, was like, calling me by my government. They said, is Austin home? And I was like, nope. I was like, I'll give y'all a call tomorrow. I answered, we'll
word
solve
of
that.
advice, also, never answer the door for the police
No,
if they don't
no.
have a warrant.
Yeah,
like,
and if they, exactly, yeah, if they don't have especially if they have a weapon.
They are liars.
They are.
They are liars, too.
Why are y'all here?
Talk about something. I just want to talk. Talk to me through the door, nigga.
That's literally what I did. I was like, I will call you
about?
tomorrow. And it totally got it resolved. I just had to, my aunt luckily is a tax expert. That's what she does. So she's like a notary, does tax. So I had some help.
Shout out to Auntie.
You know, you got to have help. You got to have resources, like you said, public resources. There's a lot now. YouTube, there's so much free information to go look shit. And
you just
honestly,
have to want it.
It is research. Like I remember before I started Adventure Club, I did research like how to throw an event, just like Googling it on YouTube. And really this was a minute ago, but it was like right at the pandemic, but it was like 3 videos. And one of them, funny enough, which is kind of where the Adventure Club thing started to like develop, one of the videos I watched was somebody that I happened to know in Atlanta. And he was like a branding, person. Shout out to Brandman Marketing Agency. They have like a YouTube, they put out information for like independent artists. Also, if you're anything media, you create content, basically how to market yourself. And this is one of their first videos though. And I didn't know he was behind this event, but there's an event called Adventure Time Atlanta. And it's pretty it's like adventure. If you like Adventure Time, this is for you.
Okay.
Like that type of vibe, like you like the
that.
Cartoon Network type of thing. And it was a huge event. And I remember going to it in this kind of schoolhouse. It reminded me of the Mockbee. It was just like that building. You had like vendors everywhere. I just saw what I thought I could do just like on a really big scale. And I'm like, oh, this isn't your average club thing or whatever. And like people still showing out for that. And then I'm like, that kind of, so when I saw the video, and he explained that he was behind that event and he was talking about how he promoted it. I was like, yeah, I was like, I want to do something like in that same, kind of spirit, that youthful, kind of energy, also relating 2000s a little bit. So that's kind of like how that was born. There's a lot of other ways that it came, but that's where the actual name popped up in my head. And then, we started it out at the Hilltop. That was Casamigos Bar at the time over in Mount Adams. And that place just looked like a treehouse. So I was like, it's gotta be Adventure Club. It was a simple idea and then it just kept evolving from there.
So how did you come up with your team? Like, how many people are part of your team? First of all, sorry. Let's start with that.
Adventure Club is, like, it's like a curators collective, if you will. So it's like, since it's a collective, it kind of it expands and contracts, right?
Okay.
You have like, kind of at the most, it could be like maybe 7 people all together.
So it just depends on the kind of event you...
Like right now it's about 7. Really, it's an ebb and flow of us trying to even figure out like, just get our foundation right and just figure out how to be the most like effective team that we can possibly be. Because the team starts with me being like the lead DJ and me being like, hey, the event's happening. I coordinate the stuff, I make the flyer. I don't want to say I do everything, but I do all the execution stuff when it comes to just like driving it. I'm just like, the engine is me, right?
You make the plan and then you tell the people how to execute it.
Yeah, I'm the meat of the sandwich, right? But then everybody else, we got to have our veggies, you got to have your sauce and your bread, and that's kind of like, how the rest of the Adventure Club sandwich is as far as a collective. But just like a sandwich, you can kind of just add more ingredients sometimes depending on, what you're looking at. One thing that we're doing differently is actually like curating a collective of like DJs that are uniquely like a part of Adventure Club. Because we like collaborate with people and do that. So now we're working with DJ Akons, aka Abby, DJ Moody.
Okay, I've heard of her.
Then she goes by M. Not DJ M, but
haven't heard of her.
She's mysterious, but she's cold. She's cold as shit. She's got like a Latin fusion thing going on. And then there's Skylin, aka Tweaker Bitch, right? She's got like the rave vibes. She's like,
that's her name? Okay.
That's her DJ name. It's Tweaker Bitch, because she do be tweaking. But
dang, I was hoping to hear my second favorite Cincinnati DJ be a part of that group.
Well,
you know who it is?
Yeah, I know who it is, but that's just the because assuming it's a woman, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. She's fire. She does her own thing. She is her own, like, you gotta let her, she gotta cook, really. Like, I just be letting her cook, and shout out to you. I love you.
Shout out to DJ Nova.
Yeah, you already know who that is.
You already know it's you.
But I'm like, you gotta keep cooking, you know what I'm saying? And I be wanting to pull her on Adventure Club, but sometimes, I just want to curate a really specific thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't leave anybody out, because there's a lot of people I do want to collaborate with that we just naturally don't. And Honestly, with the Adventure Club, it is a thing more for up and coming DJs. Because me being the more experienced person, I'm leaving room for people that need that format to come in. We've worked with some of the more established people, but to be honest, we don't really get that much out of it unless really somebody like Tiz, shout out to Tiz, might be one of the few, because Tiz just is really like got his own shit rocking. That's like really cool. But that's not to like count anybody out, because I've collaborated with just about everybody. Love all the DJs. Like it's a great community of us. But Adventure Club, also I wanted to curate a very specific mixture of like types of music too to go at our events. Yeah. Because we want to get more into like, we want to get into
creates the vibe.
Cultural shift, but still keep it, you know, regular at the same time. We want to add like the international element and the queer element and keep that with like, you know,
and I love that.
Our black, you know, already established kind of like black crowd.
Because those are my two favorite things, honestly. I love everything in the Hispanic culture. Music, food, dancing, the people. Can't barely speak the language, but I love it. Like, like I love everything as far as that. Like, so I love when you have your Afro beats and your like Latino nights. Like I love those the most. And of course, I'm a bisexual woman, so again, love all the queer things.
And those DJs, I want to collaborate with the DJs because of what they already represent. Like all those, I'm pretty sure, other than M, like everybody's queer on the squad. They're all, everybody except for Abby is black or like a person of color, Caribbean. We got Latin, we have a whole different mixture, and that's what I envision Adventure Club being. Not just something where we want to collaborate with like our mainstream DJs and everybody, but we just really want to give the attention in that spot to people, like, again, to just keep amplifying that voice, so like whatever that is. Because that's SCPA, that's like our roots, and that's kind of why that's something I'm like fixated on, because still I feel like when it comes to entertainment, where we call it club, nightlife, however you want to, I like to call it nightlife, because it's just like, you need things to do after work in a working class city, simple. But we're limited, everywhere closes at 2. We have a lot of limitations.
Or everywhere is not really like, we don't have curated vibes that much in Cincinnati. Like that's one of the other reasons I started this podcast, to really kind of showcase different vibes, because our city does so much of the same thing of going, you know, out to the club and just standing around, not really dancing. I mean, because also we have some shit DJs, bro. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. We do.
Some of us, we do need more training. And you know, I'm gonna be honest.
I don't care how many years you've been into it, bro.
I'm my favorite DJ. And I've been DJing, I think a lot. I've been DJing longer than I like you said. I've been DJing longer than that's like sometimes
we don't want to say our age, but
me.
We pushing it.
But I'm like, but even still, I think that's the value of like, you know, going to other places and traveling and seeing how they do things, because we'll realize, oh, we could have did that better. Like there's other people out there that really, so we got to bring that and keep challenging ourselves.
I'm not going to say the name of the club, but I just went somewhere recently in the past couple months, and I swear to God, the DJ made me feel like I was at a middle school, like one of my middle school concerts. And it's like, and then after that, he was like, this is in the like hype of the like Drake and Kendrick beef. So like, he played like, y'all, 15 minutes of Drake.
He had a point to prove.
I didn't want to hear that shit.
He had a point to prove.
I don't want to hear that shit in the club. When I come out to the club, we want to shake our ass, okay?
The only Drake song I can really like tolerate in the club at this point, because Drake, I think his music's still valuable, but the one, if I'm in the club and I hear it and I'm a rock to it, probably Over.
Listen,
that's probably the only one that's not sabotaged
Drake.
Because it could be God's plan, but
I don't have no beef with Drake.
Something about that just don't hit right the same anymore.
It's just, I can't do back to back to back to back.
Teach their own.
Like, come on, boy.
No. But some people probably feel like that when I play Kendrick, because even before all this beef shit started, I knew what type of cloth Kendrick was coming from, because I've been a super fan since like 2010. No, but I might play Squabble Up and TV Off back to back. That's about it.
But those kind of flow into each other.
I ain't gonna go into the deep cuts and be like, listen to Good Kid, Mad City with me now.
And that's literally what Brad did in the club. Like, it's a Saturday night, it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Nothing was the same.
I don't want to hear Tell Me was really, I don't want to hear that. Cut it off, cut his mic.
No, it's just a lot of rapping, I feel like. And you know, you don't have to, like with rap, you don't gotta prove that you're the best rapper. You really just gotta like, you know, have a vibe. There's a reason, you know, it's funny because the longevity of me DJing actually gives me a lot of perspective on the culture shift of this music. Yeah. Because it's insane to me how Waka Flocka is still one of the most lit artists that you can listen to. Don't get me wrong, we have a lot of great music, but that's what people are still asking for. When I go out to a generic spot, they say play Waka Flocka. And it still goes. He's got about 3-4 good songs that still go that were made in 2010. That's sonically competes with your ears like it.
For my mind.
Or even think about Donk by Soulja Boy. It's still gone. All you need is 3 claps sometimes. And we try to like reinvent the wheel, and we do have a lot lit music, but it's like they make one good song that can last 10 years. We make 10 good songs that last like 5 minutes, I think, in the terms of popular music. But it's funny because like people will say, play this song that's like, this is my favorite song, and everybody's gonna dance to it. And I'm like, sometimes I give people the chance to see people gonna dance to it, and when nobody danced to it, I'm like,
so you're one of those DJs who still allows requests?
I do. It is very controversial about requests, but I do allow requests. And the reason why I allow requests is because I think it's an opportunity. And if I learn how to manage it, it becomes less annoying to me. Like, it is annoying, and sometimes if people make it ridiculous, it really depends on what you request. That's the thing. Yeah. Like, if you request something I'm already gonna play, or it's like, it is a good suggestion, I might not have thought of it, I'm like, okay, now we vibing, and it turns into a moment, and that moment is like a connection that, again, with the DJs kind of hiding behind shit that you normally don't get, and sort of instead of yes, no, maybe so, like, or being closed off. So I try to turn that into something. Sometimes it could be. I've also dealt the thing with the phone in the crowd. Y'all, please stop doing that. If you do the phone, I cannot play it, or unless I know you or something like personally, then that's a little different. Or you could really just text me then. But it's like, because that has happened with somebody that I'm like, well, you could text me that and I would have saw it. But because I look at my phone when I DJ. But
do you got bad eyesight, or is that just like annoying for you?
It's just annoying for me because it's just like. It's just like a little wave of a thing, and it's like it's such a distraction in terms of like the bigger picture of what I'm doing, and that's really why I understand why a lot of people are annoyed by song requests, because it's like I'm here for 4 hours generally, and I got to curate a whole vibe from beginning to end with a build up and make sure, because if I don't, then people are gonna be like, this bullshit, I'm gonna leave. Like, you ain't gonna like it. And we do, think about how many, I be doing that to other DJs, and it's because music is a very unconscious art form. Mm-hmm. So you'll just be, oh yeah, fuck that DJ, they're the worst in the world. When in all actuality, you do have to do a lot to build it up. So that is why some DJs, I'm not gonna say who, I be knowing who people are talking about. That's why some people do the same sets every time you see them, because having a routine is just like, okay, how do you switch it up? Honestly, because it works. Sometimes the routine works, and then when they find something that works, they're like, cool, stick to it. But for me personally,
you niggas who got a routine, because I'm pretty sure you know who I'm talking about.
And and we love everybody. Because it's literally
the same. I'm there almost every Saturday.
Yeah, and I've asked people about that.
And I've heard the same set. And I'm, me being a music major, I can't even hear the same song 2 times in a row because I know I heard it. Like, I memorize what I hear so easily that it's like, that shit's annoying.
Yeah.
Like,
but some people that don't have as much as like a colorful music interest, they might be cool hearing, what's something you hear in the club every week without fail?
Damn.
Probably something by Boss Man D-Lo, something
by Sexy Red.
Something by Sexy Red. You're gonna hear Get It Sexy probably at least once when you leave the house,
definitely
right?
Get It Sexy.
I'm guilty. I'm gonna drop Get It Sexy. Ain't nothing wrong with Get It Sexy. It be Getting It Sexy in there for sure.
Depending on how many drinks I have, I might Get It Sexy.
Everything else around it though, if it's just like straight Gucci beats the whole night, it's like cool. I love mixtape Gucci, but it's like, you need something people can sing to. You need something they can twerk to. That's why people think I'm corny for the line dance shit, but I love it. And I love the fact that it is kind of corny, honestly, inherently, to just make, hey, we're doing a cha-cha slide, but I've taken that risk and done it just to see if people are going to participate. And no matter who says it, they always do.
It's like a vibe
shuffle, because there's a Cupid shuffle. There's a line dance for at least one type of person for everybody.
Yeah, I like that.
How funny is it to see white people doing that line dance shit that they be doing on TikTok? They be doing line dances you ain't never seen.
I just saw that one recently that they started with.
She went back with it. What song was it?
Get in there.
The
one that already has the dance. We already have a dance.
And now that's the fun in line dance.
People trying to culture appropriate and make their own shit.
Literally, but line dance is our culture.
Made,
TikTok and dancing, that's a part of our culture. So I just see line dancing. It's kind of the same thing in the club.
Part of black culture.
The boots on the ground thing kind of low-key drives me crazy because the dance and the fans is fire, but I hate that song. Sorry, dude, who made the song.
I don't care.
like
I don't
playing
like
that
the
song.
song either.
It's just like, but people keep asking me, and the more people I talk to, I'm realizing I don't think anybody likes the song for real. I think we just like the vibe.
My cousin was like, please stop playing that Boots on the Ground song in the club. Had me thinking they was shooting with them fans. Because let them know they got that. Listen.
It's a crazy thing, but that's like, I get a lot out of that because it's, I can still play Sexy Red and Lotto and keep it fresh, keep it cool. But I like, what I say is, okay, there's a certain time of the set for that. Maybe that's like some 11 o'clock type shit. That's not the whole night, and that's definitely not 1 a.m. You don't want people about to, especially at Rebel, we usually close early at 1, so I usually be making them lose their mind. But it's like, no dreams and nightmares. I'm sorry, Meek, but that is not. I was just talking to somebody about that. I leave that shit out of my thing.
I literally was having a conversation with my cousin. He just opened up a bar over in Madisonville on Madison Road called Foster.
Congratulations to him.
Congratulations to him. It's been open for, I believe we've been open for a year, maybe 2. I'm a bad cousin. Either way, he's still navigating this, nightlife industry. And I feel as though his choice in DJs, this is one DJ. Sorry to this person. I don't know, what they or them might want to go by, but the bar it's a very small bar. Okay, y'all, it's very small. It is a little bit ghetto, but on a night where there's only about 5 of us in here, including the motherfucking DJ, bitch, why is you playing Shake That Ass, bitch, and let me see? Why are we playing that?
Yeah, because nobody's gonna shake their ass, especially if depending.
You making my head hurt.
It's just crazy.
Like it's just,
people can't read the room, and like that's just it's a people skills, and DJing honestly is, to me, is a customer service job more than it is the music thing. And I don't think music can cause violence. I think that's bullshit. I think when people try to blame the music on the violence, I think that's crazy. But we also cannot ignore the fact that music does charge you up, though, and then you're gonna have at least one person
music
who can't handle
energy.
it. Especially when people drinking, some people just can't handle that type of vibration. A lot of us can. I famously, one time, I worked at Holy Grail 3 years, which that's.
You DJ'd at Holy Grail?
Yeah, I DJ'd. I was there DJing every Saturday night. That was an era because I was like just figuring shit out at that time.
Yeah.
But I remember playing Dreams. I think it was like the This was the AFC championship game that we had won, and I played Dreams and Nightmares in a room full of white people, and they was all singing it. I don't think I saw anybody like saying shit they wasn't supposed to be saying, but they were singing every other word and standing up on the tables and I'm like, whoa. It's actually, funny enough, that video is actually on my Instagram still. It should be on my Instagram reels if you go way back in the past.
Yeah, I want to go way back.
You'll see a little clip of
3 years ago
going crazy, and I'm like,
some pink folk going crazy.
And when you see that, you see the disconnect, like, y'all ain't gonna squash nobody. Like that's obviously not. And like we live vicariously through this music a lot of the time, and it's cool. And there's just like limitations on it. And I think when you just drive certain shit in the ground, that's when it's like, all right, I'm not doing that. I was just thinking about Preach, if Preach by Young Dolph is another one, but I love Young Dolph, and I'm a fan of Key Glock. I'm a big fan of Key Glock. That is my dude.
I enjoy hearing them when I'm in the club. I'm just, like I said, just don't bring me back to when I was in middle school.
And Dolph got a lot of good songs,
I don't
want
to hear like a whole, like Soulja Boy, and then right after Soulja Boy, I hear like, what's the middle school song? Like I can't like, you hear like something like stupid like Short But Shorty. Like I don't want to hear.
Short But Shorty.
I'm so serious. We in the middle of the club on a Saturday night, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and they go play Soulja Boy. Right after Soulja Boy, he playing Short But Shorty. Like why?
That's crazy.
Are you trying to clear the
R&B is the way to go because you need R&B. We just need R&B to heal the world, right? And it works in a ghetto situation. It works in a family-friendly situation. Fantasia's just good anywhere. Where is she not good? Where is give the R&B girl some love.
Will she see you?
Get them some love, man. Like R&B dude's cool.
We didn't reel it back because we didn't went down this whole tangent of music. Clearly, we both love music. Let's get back to speaking on like okay, I have a question I asked all the curators. What has been the biggest obstacle you've had with curating
curating the events? I got you.
Curating your events. What has been the biggest obstacle with curating your events?
There's been a lot, but I think the biggest one definitely is. See, it's not money or stuff that comes and goes. It's really just like the whole principle of what we're doing and trying to be diverse in a place that I knew wasn't diverse. I think that was for me, I don't know if that's like a general challenge, but I feel like whenever you try to do something different, you have to understand there's going to be resistance. And I accounted for that a little bit, but it just like was all building. And resistance meaning everybody's not gonna support what you're doing. People ain't gonna show up. Your best friends that you've known for your whole life, you can't really expect that much from people. I have close friends that I grew up with my whole life. I don't see them niggas ever. I never see them ever at my events, ever, not once. And then I have other people that also I didn't expect that, and then they like the real MVP. So it's just like, you just gotta keep building and know like the right people gonna end up in your corner if you just keep hustling, you keep putting the right stuff in the same spot. Like you can't really build something off of like the expectation of what other people have to go on. You gotta live or die with it. Hey, what's up, y'all? So, you have to live or die with your brand. And I think with Adventure Club, it's like, that's kind of why I absorb so much energy with that. It's like, I have to live it, nobody else, if it's my baby. And there's been a lot of coming and going because of that. You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody says, I can't work on Adventure Club, I don't want it to stop. You know what I'm saying? Which I see that on all the event stuff that was successful. We've had little successful movements and stuff like, it doesn't get stopped, but like stuff gets grinded to a halt or it just gets corrupted because you just didn't have the same structure that you had. So I'm like, shit, I guess it's gotta just be me at the center, at least until it just keeps building. I have a lot of trusted people that I work with, don't get me wrong, because like when it comes to the DJs executing it, that's why I picked those 4 people, is all 4 of them run their own events. And they got their own shit going on. They're not just another DJ behind the screen, just like you don't really know who they are. M kind of is, but she's just shy. We're gonna get her out there, and she's got some shit dropping. But you know, I'm like, we're working on the photography and all this stuff, and like their music, the vibe, the connection, and their ability to be like an administrator is like all there. But I don't expect everybody to check those boxes though. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
So what would you say on the positive note of that would be your favorite like part about curating events? What's the best part about it to you?
I like the instant gratification of seeing. I really do.
That's the Leo in him, y'all.
No, it is because like at events, like you get money put in your pocket the same night a lot of the time. You get like just the high visibility and the whole goal. There's a lot of the Miami Beach stuff, for instance. We created that because the idea wasn't let's do Miami. The idea was we want to see Afro beats and we want to see Latin music on the same night, but maybe a little bit of rap and shit. And we want to see that in an environment where we can have different cultures come together.
That is literally what it's like when I go to Miami.
Oh, that's Miami, right? So we can have like that tribal aesthetic and put that in there. But that's kind of how we think about all of our events. Like they have that type of purpose. And I like the instant gratification of seeing that, like the actual people standing in the room, people who normally wouldn't talk to so-and-so. Now they taking a picture, now they friends forever. Now people from high school, Cincinnati small like that. Oh, I didn't realize I knew you from Forest Park back in 2003. Like I'm dead ass, it's crazy. Like some shocking shit be happening. Like even early on at Adventure Club, Gabby, aka Sister Salem, that she's in New York right now, but we like went way back because one of my sister was at an Adventure Club event way back at the Hilltop. She's like, your sister looks familiar, but we're just talking to each other about like work and the music thing. That's all I really like kind of knew about her at the time. And she's like, no, I know your sister. Then I realized like we all went to the same church like as kids, and I'm like, oh, like that's where we knew you. And then like my parents it's crazy because my family.
I don't forget faces, so it's like I always normally have the issue of like I'll remember somebody, they won't remember me, and then here I am explaining who's my mama, who's my daddy. Like,
that's why we need these events though, because to be honest, this is our only chance outside of work to really connect like that. If we don't do it intentionally, other than school, where are we doing it? Because we out of school, we grown, nobody, or I'm not saying it like that, but I'm saying like we just graduated out of being in the, I guess, forced community, for lack of a better word, right? And look how we still are, just like cultivating that with other people, with new people, and then so on, and it keeps evolving. And I think when I went to Atlanta, that's what I was like, oh, that's why Cincinnati's not where we want to be. It's not because we don't have the talent. I think personally, we have more talent than holistically, just off of the what's the word? It's like, it's just potent, with how we feel, like the passion.
Not good with words.
Not to say it's not to say like not to compare it in Atlanta, but just comparing my own experience, seeing like I went there thinking I was gonna do it, but really I needed to go there and add something, not try to like, what can I get from Atlanta? So when I came back here and now that I know what to have to offer, I'm like, oh, that's why, because there's a lot of us here. I think like you were saying earlier, we do joke about like how people come back to Cincinnati, but we always come back stronger. And we always come back doing more shit and be putting people on without even knowing it. And that's the secret sauce, y'all. I'm gonna say, if there's a secret sauce to like how I got where I am now, it is putting people on 100%. It is not about me at the end of the day. I know I'm fired, but that's because I practice and I'm obsessed with this shit.
Period.
And I'm a little crazy. Like, I'm like crazy about what I do, you know? So like, I encourage you to be crazy about it. But if you want to be successful at that career part, you gotta like be able to bring other people up with you. Like Kat was saying, that's so important. That is the most, gotta bring people up with you. Gotta find a team. Just have relationships with people. You know, a lot of people want me to teach them how to DJ, and I'm like, I got imposter. I don't even know if I'm qualified, but I'm like, obviously you're asking me, so I'm like, let's dive into it. Let's experiment.
If someone's asking you, I will say they see something in you that like they can learn from you. So I get feeling like, you know, discouraged or whatnot like that, because of course in the past when I did model, I would get people that would come to me asking me different questions about modeling and whatnot. I felt completely like not secure in that realm, especially because I was just fresh in my modeling career, like 1-2 years, just got my agency like contract and stuff like that. So like I get feeling that imposter syndrome, but just know if somebody is seeking something from you, they see that in you. They see that you are that good that I can learn something from you.
And that's really the validation that keeps me going, and like why the instant gratification part about seeing people come together and being like, oh, I see the results of like us planning to mix these different cultures. Now it's happening, and then because it talks back to me, and it gives me that confidence to be like, no, this is worth it. Because there's a lot of bullshit in the way that make you want to stop. It could be anything, because there's a lot of all this creative stuff we're doing. It don't make a ton of money.
So what advice would you give somebody first starting out, want to curate their events? I get, you know, there's plenty of information out there for you to go out and find. There's plenty of resources for you, free resources out there online. But what would you, as Zap, give someone as their advice for how would you start this shit? How would you start being a curator?
I would say research everything you can, because like, you don't want to just like research all the time, but you just have to like kind of learn how to balance both. Because you need to be able to know what you're doing, and it sounds like you need to do it, but it's just like on some Nike shit, you really just gotta just do it, because the other half of the learning is like failure and taking L's. Because like, I can't tell you how many L's that I took, and publicly, you know, at the same time, but that's like the information that makes me be like,
well, let's talk about that. What's been the worst L you've took in making these events? What's been the biggest L?
Anybody who curates events, especially at some of the same places that I curate at, can really like attest to some of this stuff. I'm not gonna name specific names of the venues, but I'm just gonna be very. Names. There are some venues that I don't.
We don't need no clout off there.
There's one in particular, exactly, because one of them, see, I'm already saying too much.
We don't care.
I'm already saying too much.
It's so many women in Cincinnati.
Look. But there's a couple curators that I choose not to intentionally deal with, and it's not because I think they're doing anything nefarious or they're or whatever. It's just because at some point I'm just like, dude, I'm gonna lose my mind like working with you, and people have different ways of going about their business. That's all. Especially since the nature of what we do in events, I feel like there's this right now, Cincinnati, a big challenge is the fact that we do a lot of these events in bars because of the foot traffic, the potential of income in a lot of these, but we sacrifice a lot of our like say-so in basically everything. Basically every fucking thing that has to do with the event, from what time it starts, to what day it's gonna be on, to how you promote it, to everything. And it's frustrating because sometimes we're like, okay, like y'all are cool, but then you don't know anything about what we're doing, so we're not gonna tell you about the bar industry either, but their bar industry. Because Cincinnati, ironically, I mean, we got fucking beer tunnels, every 60 beer tunnels. This is a drinking city. So the beer culture and the bar cultures come first. And I feel like the creative culture, we've been trying to respond to that with the creativity and be like, nah, we can do it in the same spaces. Some of them, kind of allow that to happen. But I think, there's one place, I mean, that's the thing. If I don't partner with them now, that's not to say that I won't change my mind in the future if there's different reasons. There's just one place because it was more of a personal issue, but it can get like that when you're dealing with business, when you do business with people, that you are very close with in a way where they might be close with your family or things like that. Things can get pretty messy. I'm not gonna lie, it gets
So that was the biggest L you say you took, it getting a little personal?
The biggest L that I took was just, I mean, we did an event last year at the Still House that was just a complete flop, but it was on, and the reason why it was a flop was because I did it on the same day as the Cincy Music Fest. And it was at the Still House. No shade to y'all, I love the Still House, but this is the biggest venue, and it's kind of hard to find, and unless you do like a huge like kind of promotion
I'm sorry,
thing,
but in my opinion,
and you snowball it, it's not.
I don't really care for Still House for the reason of like, you are a predominantly outdoor venue. Why no vaping? Like, I kind of get the not smoking part a little bit. Like, I can deal with the not smoking, you know, cigarettes, weed, I get that. But you mean to tell me people can't even have the little vapey things too? Like, come on now.
They activate.
I don't even personally vape. I don't even like agree with it, but it's just like.
And they were really picky about how they activated the spaces for a good reason, because, you know, they have their own weird business practice that they need to manage. Because like that's when the bar industry and the creative industry just don't be lining up.
Yeah.
And what I realized the only solution was for us to get our money up and then to get our own building. But then that's a whole different conversation really, because now we got to start talking about the 3CDC guys and getting into commercial real estate, which that's what led me to the studio thing, and why I like jumped on that was because no, I don't own the building, but that was like the next closest thing to like having some sort of ownership over the space.
Yeah, having more control.
So if we're gonna talk about solutions about how to deal, because the bar industry in Cincinnati, I don't see it just changing overnight. Yeah. And I think we're making waves though, for real, like from like years ago, because
especially with the amount of Black-owned like bars that we have. Yeah. I will admit though, I love my Black people, but everything on Redden Road is violent. Everything on Redden Road is ghetto.
Yeah, I love y'all, but I don't be. I mean, I like Zola's place. I do like Zola's place.
Oh, I ain't talking about that part of Redden Road. We talking about we going up.
Oh, y'all going up there?
We talking
about past Roseline. Yeah. That's where my family.
We talking about that.
We
talking about that.
Yeah, we talking
about all the little. We ain't gonna say no names, but they.
Because Avondale is all right. Avondale got a little like, you know, hidden gems over there. Because I was like, Zola's good. They be peaceful.
I love Zola's.
They do like music stuff, so it's
Zola's is definitely a hidden gem. The food amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, it's fun. I DJ'd at one of the places. The customer care,
like I say, like literally from the bottom of my heart, when I went there, I was going through something separately from the event there, but like the owner of the style, I think it was the owner, I don't know who she was, but either way, she was the most kind, most caring, most helpful, most de-escalating, like the best service I've ever experienced in far as Cincinnati, definitely hands down, was Zola's.
Yeah,
but
good peoples.
Definitely some really nice events they put on.
But if any, I'm glad you said that, because there's a reason why typically, if you notice, most of the stuff I do is in OTR.
Yeah.
And it's just because you know how long I've been there. I have that attachment to there. My stuff is down there. And I feel like that community generally is going to keep people safer more than anything. Like safety really is a number one concern for me. Like I don't
downtown
you feel like you're going to get fucked up at my events, then that ain't the type of vibe. Which is why that never really happens. Like honestly, if something goes wrong at our events, it's probably me. I'm probably the one tripping.
Blame Zap.
Like, hey, we got to get shit right.
Anything go wrong at Adventure Time, blame Zap.
Because I'm, you know, the boss, you got to take the L's, right? You got to like, you can't just, I win, and I'm the boss, and then when the L's come, and when you get in trouble, and when you get fired, Sorry, I had to say that louder for the people.
For the people in the back.
In case people want some sort of explanation. But you get fired and then you just move on from stuff. But being fired, like you can't fire yourself when you work for yourself. You know what I mean? So you never really get fired. You just lose one of those clients and it's like, oh, damn, like, that was my best client, damn it. But you still build off of that. And a lot of those, again, like I've learned at this point in my entrepreneur journey, I've learned how to take those, oh shit, we took a loss and all right, this is what we about to do next. And now we got a better opportunity. And I'm just getting better at that. And yeah, I don't even get mad as much anymore because niggas really tried it a lot with this shit. Trust me, trying to put stuff out, I'm like, y'all.
What events would you say that you curate has the highest ass shaking meter? If there was a meter from 1 to 10 that me and my homegirls would come to, that we know for sure we're gonna be able to shake some ass, which event?
So we have different, so with Adventure Club, we're starting to come up with like different kinds of series, right? We just did our Party for You, which that was the first of its kind, which was like a collaboration with Clark and the Homeless Coalition.
So what was the ass shaking meter on that?
That was about 20, if you was there. Were you there? You were there. Yeah, I saw you there. It was about a 20 that night. It was like on the table, it was a little everywhere. The Miami Beach night, I would say.
Table?
Yeah, no, they was on the table. Like, you know when people grind, when they got to hold the table and they're moving it and doing that shit?
Oh, okay.
For reinforcement.
We love that demonstration. Do that again for me real quick.
Oh,
yeah. Like that.
I ain't going to twerk for you. I'm just going to hold the table. Just move it. But the people were dancing. The Miami Beach night, that one was cool. That one, it definitely, ass shaking meters. It's a solid 10 on that one. Because you know you're going to hear like more Caribbean music and Latin music and the fusion. And then I'm gonna come through with the 80s shit.
I bet, huh?
This time I'm gonna do like more throwbacks, but I'm coming with like that Miami bass music. I'm coming with like some Uncle Luke type shit. Okay. So the ass shaking meter might hit a 12 on my set. Because I think I'm closing it out.
Oh.
I don't know. I made the lineup. I should know that.
So after this Thursday, because this podcast probably will come out by like next week, you'd say? Mm-hmm. Yeah, roughly about next week. So what would you say the next event after this Thursday's event?
All right, so we got 3 big ones after the Miami Beach one that we're about to have. We got 3 big ones. So next we have our adult prom. It's coming back at Revel. We have another installment of that. And the prom is a masquerade. It's a formal event. You gotta,
so people really are like dressing up?
You don't have to dress up because it's like an alternative thing. You can kind of like
up.
remix it how you want to, but it's a formal event for people of different, calibers, you know what I'm saying? So you could dress the fuck up if you want to, but it's a masquerade, so you just got the little thing on.
I got one of them.
Be all eyes wide shut.
You know I like the role play.
Yeah. Where am I at? Can't see me. Then we got that going. That's the adult prom. Me, DJ Zap, DJ Strawberry, and Tweaker Bitch, and Slick Alchemy, and also Tapped Entertainment.
Oh shit! Shout out to Tap.
It's a whole game.
I need to get them on the podcast soon.
Please do. They're fucking incredible. I love them guys. We got a whole movement happen. It's just the youthful like prom energy, kind of thing. Then on June 21st, we have our blackout rave at Galaxy. We are doing an all black lineup on Juneteenth weekend. At a normally what Galaxy, I would say they classify themselves as an EDM venue, but
because I haven't heard
they have
Galaxy
like a rave
before.
space. So they're in Covington, Kentucky. They're new. They just opened up, but they're kind of like, I would say they're designed very similar to Alice.
Covington
so if you
is
like
on the
Alice,
up and coming.
you'll like Galaxy.
Yeah, Covington has been like building up its like different venues and spaces. They just really the whole like I would say northern, what we call Greater Cincinnati, but northern Kentucky area, because they just built that new concert area in Newport too.
Yeah.
So they're just building all of that up in Newport and in Covington.
So it's going, and we want to be able to kind of bring that because with Juneteenth, I mean, we have a lot of established things that already happened, but with the Venture Club, we're like always trying to do the different stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I will take the risk to do the most different thing if that just means not doing the same shit, honestly, even if that means we might not win in the end, but yeah, like that flop that we took last year just told me how to take more calculated risks than anything. But yeah, Galaxy, and then we also have this going all the way in July, but in July we have Adult Swim, where that's just me.
Oh yeah, I did see you on that.
At Ziegler Park. That's like, it's Adventure Club in a sense, but you'll see what I mean when we.
It's fun. I love Adult Swim at Ziegler.
Go. Yeah, I'm gonna be going crazy. I'm gonna be yelling. I'm gonna be running around. Jump in that pool. No, jump out the pool. Get lit. I don't know.
So are you doing anything special for us Leos?
You know what's crazy? So today I was actually thinking we should do like a Leo party where we celebrate ourselves. We need to get all the Leos together. We need to. Cleo Court's one of them. We just need to get all the Leos I can think of that are just like we're all bosses and just celebrate how much we love ourselves. And have like a Leo party, because I know it's gonna make everybody
Hopefully
mad.
My
I think
mom has her
funny.
pool installed by then. We can just steal my mom's house.
Yeah.
She shouldn't watch this.
We just need a location for us to
Don't
just
nobody
get
tell
together.
my mama this.
It's really just gonna be a big photo shoot, really. We're just gonna take a bunch of pictures and be like, we all are beautiful people and we all love ourselves.
Sure are. I don't know not one
like,
ugly Leo.
Yeah. And when we be looking in the mirror, we be like, yeah, we know that too.
Yeah, I know that.
We be knowing.
This screen is probably just glowing right now from just 2 Leos sitting here. We're probably burning your eyeballs. I just know it.
I was sweating because I was radiating heat on myself. It's like, for real. So,
he needs some milk.
Your birthday is July 31st.
Oh, you remember?
Right? Yeah. It's 4 days from mine, right? And then mine's the 27th.
26?
I'll be like the earliest one, the 27th.
Okay, I thought it was 26.
Yeah, and this was my golden year this year, so it was pretty good. It was golden as fuck, to be honest. I was 27.
What does golden year mean?
So your golden year is when you turn that, like when you're that age on the day that you were born. So I was like born on the 27th, and now I'm 27.
Damn, I ain't gonna have mine for a while.
Yeah, we got a couple more years, but I like mine's was golden as fuck. It was pretty nice.
Beautiful.
So yeah,
27's been rough for me.
Oh, well, we gonna bring it in. To 28 gonna be greater, and 29 we won't see the haters.
And 30.
I don't know.
And 31. 32.
And forever and forever, and it keeps going, and we never.
Well, it was a pleasure to have you on the Curators Chat.
Yay.
This was one of the most fun chats I've had. I mean, I've known you my whole life, so of course it was going to be easy. Thank you again, Zap. Shout out to Adventure Club. Make sure you check out his events. Adult Prom happening.
Yes, May 31st.
May 31st.
Blackout Rave happening June 21st. Juneteenth weekend. You're looking for something to do, come see us. That's the Saturday, Juneteenth. A lot of y'all gonna be at the block party.
Sure is.
I want to see y'all at. That's the after party. We close at 2:30, so if you're looking for a late night spot, and we have food.
We always love food.
We have food.
We always love to shake our ass at the Curators Chat. We love to shake our ass and we love food. If those two things are not involved, it's gonna be a little bit hard for us there. Just a little bit.
Also.
Oh, and smoking.
Yeah.
We love 420 friendly.
Yeah, we'll work on that. That one's a little in Kentucky because in Kentucky it's a little different.
Yeah.
But special shout out to Jackie and Jensen and Naira. That's like the marketing team. They're the ones that kind of help
to the marketing
pull the
team
stuff
of Adventure
together.
Club.
You know, they all have their own operations. Go check out what they have going on. I would drop their Instagram, but I don't know it off the top of my head. But I'll drop mine.
Okay.
And
drop yours, please.
you can go ahead and follow them through my page. Go look for Jensen, Jackie, and Naira from Adventure Club. But I'm Zap the DJ, Z-A-P, the DJ. It's real simple. And then go follow Adventure Club events at Adventure Club events and see what we're doing next. Best way to stay up to date.
And again, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Brucie Ana. Peace.
Yay.
Cut and print. Beautiful, guys. Beautiful. That's what you're supposed to say, Joy.